guys doing today? Hooray, my slides, they exist. Okay. Thank you all for coming. I'd like to talk to you about my company, Capsule Social, my startup. I'm Nadim. I'm here on behalf of a team of 10 bright individuals, and we're building something cool, and Near is part of the technologies that we are using in order to solve a set of technical problems that our project is facing. So what are we trying to do? The entire thing started back in January, February, March of this year. Basically, Trump was kicked off of Twitter, and that elicited an enormous amount of sudden interest from especially the American Anthropocene in actually like looking at freedom of expression online, etc. And you had these answers to that problem that were largely kind of not very interesting answers, like Parler or Gab or stuff like that were basically like immediately overridden with Pepe the Frog avatar accounts and stuff like that. And so it wasn't really interesting. And what I was trying to do at the time is figure out a way for us to have better discourse on the internet without just perpetuating the nonsense of Twitter and making it decentralized, right? Just like having decentralized shit posting. Woohoo, great way to spend my 30s. Okay, so we built like this decentralized Twitter thing and then realized that it sucked because it misleadingly solves the technological problem, because decentralized, Web3, quantum, blockchain, token, etc. But it doesn't solve the content problem, and these two problems are actually intertwined, right? So we're building this new thing. We were supposed to call it Capsule. The company is still called Capsule Social, but then actually turns out that Capsule is trademarked within the context of software. So we chose the most facepalmy, cheesy name imaginable, Blockchain. That's what we're going to call the platform, Blockchain. Turns out that it's not trademarked. Also, people like it, so we picked it. I'm sorry. It's basically a decentralized Substack-like network with social elements. It's resistant to takedowns and stuff like that. I mean, there's Truth Social now, so you can go if you really care about people taking you down, I guess. Blockchain, but also is supposed to be a truly decentralized social network where users have agency over their presence. You can basically control your identity. You can be pseudonymous, and it has a really nice user experience. We're really into user experience. So we're building, I'll show you a demo of the user experience in a bit. We're building on top of Near because Near gives us an easy chain with a nice API to build stuff like a root of trust for public keys and usernames, and that's useful. We're also going to be using it for stuff like smart contract infrastructure for moderation. So if I'm going to give someone the boot, right, because they're really abusing the platform, at the very least we can make it such that people cannot be given the boot unless there have been 3 strikes. And the way that a strike is defined and recorded happens via smart contract. So there's no arbitrary enforcement of moderation. There's no shadow banning. There's no stuff like that, right? We're also using OrbitDB and IPFS. So here's what it looks like. I'm really, I can't stress this enough. We are very not interested in building fancy NFT smart contract nonsense unless it actually is built on top of something that provides intrinsic value to more traditional users, right? So this is supposed to compete with Substack. It's supposed to compete with Twitter. Articles look like Substack articles, but the entire social feed looks like a Twittery feed, sort of. But it's also highly customizable and personal. It's supposed to be your capsule, right? It's supposed to be a personal thing. So this is what it looks like when you're writing an article. You have a full editor, but then when you post it, it looks like kind of like a big tweet, chunky tweet, right? And you can have statistics, and also, incredibly, people can react to your post in a way that is more nuanced than a like or a heart, because we actually have a resident artist who's designing hundreds of faces covering different moods, and so you can actually express yourself in a more nuanced way. And so, one example, do you guys use LinkedIn? So, you know when you go on LinkedIn and you see these posts like, today my blind grandfather finally passed his driver's license test after, this cringeworthy, extremely, I mean, sometimes they're very sympathetic, but people tend to really overplay things on LinkedIn. So now you can react with a cringe face, there's actually that. So stuff like that. How does it work? So this is someone who wants to post something on Capsule on blockchain, and basically they just communicate to a bunch of IPFS nodes. Because we're running OrbitDB, it means that we can program our own Turing-complete content validation scheme that's distributed across all the nodes, validates the content, signed with their public key. Public key is verified via NEAR, one of the main reasons why we're using NEAR. And then through PubSub, it propagates to all Capsule nodes, and then people can fetch the content by doing the thing in reverse and obtaining it. Now they can read about the news or whatever blog post or tweet or whatever they want to read about. We are envisioning a token. I don't want to talk about the token. So future developments, adapting our tech to core experiences. You're right. So the idea is once we actually have the technological infrastructure for stuff like blockchain, right, like posts or tweets or whatever, it's just a question of user experience for us to diversify that into video chain, job chain, art chain, academic paper chain, right? It's just a question of how we present it to the user, but the technology is the same. So that's how we plan to grow as we move along in the years to come. I mean, is there... Yeah, so the token, is supposed to promote pro-discourse behavior. If you help mirror content, if you help with content moderation, decentralized moderation, if you help with stuff, you get a token. You can use that to unlock NFTs. You can access the special stage. If you're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it's the one that actually has blue spheres, red spheres. Okay. So what's the competition? We're really trying to compete with Web2. We think we need to beat Substack. Right, but we're interested in having Web3 features and true decentralization. There's also like reasonable Web3 competitors such as Minds and Mirror. They're pretty good. So I have nothing but respect for those people, and hopefully we can provide a product that competes with them. Right, team. So we have a cool team. We are very hiring. We actually hired 2 more people just yesterday. We're finally kickstarting our content team. We are very interested in having a strong content team. So that's one of the major pushes that we're doing in terms of fundraising, in terms of hiring. We finally got the content marketing director. That was really hard. And we have initial funding so we got our seed funding from Balaji Srinivasan and Naval Ravikant, and also Polychain and a bunch of other guys, Castle Island Ventures, Firefly Capital Ventures, and WAMDA Capital. We're like doing a Series A, but it's weird because we haven't launched yet. But we're close to it, but we also need it to get a really strong content team. It's a very weird place to be in. Our team is great. We recently all flew to Paris. I live in Paris. They all flew to Paris. And we had a great week-long team meeting after working with each other for 8 months and never meeting each other. It was very, very nice. I'm extremely proud of this team. Right. So we're hoping to launch early next year, January 2021. Public beta. Anyone can sign up. Great. You sign up with a NEAR wallet. And also we're hoping to use that to understand things better. The word understand is repeated there many times. And then after that, we're hoping for a more public release. Yeah, this timeline is wrong. January 2022 is the public beta, and then March or April 2022 is us doing stuff. We have a private alpha right now. You can use it. It works. But it's not fancy. I'm a big Apple kind of fanboy in terms of their product design. And what I really want is something that works well, something that has a unified user experience, and something that provides intrinsic sort of unroadable value to the user. Until we get there, we're not launching. But we're going to get there pretty quick. Okay, so we have, incredibly, 700 people on our Discord. We have done nothing to promote this Discord. I don't know where they're coming from. We have 4,000 members in our newsletter. We send sparing updates that respect your time. So please sign up. And you can check out our website at Capsule Social. We are very interested in talking to you about things. Please talk to me. I am very nice and approachable. And I thank you very much for your time and interest.